Hey my friend, what's going on? Cater here on a beautiful, beautiful day, my friend. So you're looking at this product, Built My List by Jimmy Kim, and you're thinking it's just another scam, right? Well, listen to me. I've been online for last 3 years. The last 3 years has been amazing. I've been making a lot of income online. And if there's one thing that I've learned in the last 3 years is the ability to build a list. Now, I never really understood it the way that Jimmy will teach you this stuff inside of this course. Matter of fact, I have an interview that I'm gonna show you with Jimmy where he talks more about the mindset and the understanding of what it takes to take your game to the next level. Because there's level in this stuff, guys. I'm gonna show you some proof. Well, I got proof to back it up. You know, I've made over $150,000, over 200K in one product without even having a list. Not even having a list. Now I'm thinking about if I had that information that is shared inside of this product, the Built My List product, which a lot of people are looking for, a lot of people have already bought on JVZoo. Well, you know what? I'm gonna jump on my computer and I'll show you some stuff, right? Because if I had that information, Lord knows, man, my list size would have been triple the size, and I've made a lot more money. And the stuff that he's teaching you right now, guys, you want to take advantage of that stuff. Just think about it. If you're building a business online and you're not building a list, you're not gonna be there in the long term. You're not gonna have customers. You're building a business on sales. You know, the main key factor that drives a business long term is to be able to create and have customers. You know, if you have someone bought something from you one time, you want them to buy something else, right? Because the same person that bought a camera, they will be the same person that buy a battery. They will be the same person who buys a charger. And when you understand, you can go to your target list and understand to that dimension of what it takes to really build a powerful list, not just one, but in multiple niches, and all the stuff combined together, making you money on autopilot is totally amazing. But anyway, this is what I'm gonna do. I'll show you some proof. But I'm gonna show you an interview that one of my mentors had with Jimmy. He really shared his story with you. You will get a lot of golden nuggets inside of his story that's gonna enable you to help you with your business today. So let's pass it up to Jimmy.
Talk about when I was little, my mom, coming from an Asian family, wanted me to be a doctor, a lawyer. That's just the typical, American dream, right? Hey, welcome, come on in. Well, one of the things that I used to always say as a child was, I'm gonna make more money than any lawyer or doctor will ever do. Watch me. And that was kind of like my saying to them. And they always said, oh yeah, laugh it off. And fast forward here at the age of 33, I am making more money than any doctor or lawyer that you're gonna find. Well, I'll take it back. I'm not making more than any doctor or lawyer, but most, 95% probably easily, if not more. I started my life as in the car business. When I was 16, I started washing cars, and from 16 through the age of about 27, I washed cars and I moved my way up the ranks, and I did well for myself. It wasn't like I didn't do well. But the problem was I actually worked so many hours. I had a very small social life as well. So I started there and I worked really hard to do it. It wasn't until about 6 years ago that I really kind of broke out and decided I'm done with this, done working the 9-to-5 grind, and wanted to do my own thing. And I turned to the internet to do that. Internet marketing was never something that I ever thought about. I knew about it, I knew what it was, but I didn't really know what it was. So it comes back with meeting a good buddy of mine, Anik. I met him in Las Vegas, and we kind of hit it off and became friends. I didn't know what he did, I didn't know who he was. All I knew was he was a good friend, he lived locally, and we used to hang out. One day I kind of asked him, I said, what do you do? And he said, I do this internet marketing thing. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, are you sending spam? Or are you just like scamming people? Like those are the things that come to your head when you think about internet marketing. And he started teaching me and telling me about it. Now, we were friends for I think about 2 years before I even thought about asking him. But one day I just kind of turned to him and said, hey man, I'm really tired of my job. I work really hard, and I need to know what you do and if you can teach me. I was at it for about 2, 3, 4 months maybe. It's been a while, so I'm not 100% sure, but it was been a couple months, 3, 4 months of just grinding at it, working at it, following the process, following the steps that were taught to me, that it worked. It finally just clicked one day, and it just made sense in my head. I applied it, and it just started making money. Now, I'll tell you one thing, the difference between now and then is, back then we didn't have as good education with affiliate marketing as there is now. Back then I kind of had to piece together my thing. Now, what Anik has been teaching in the last couple years, actually, to me, has been like, if I had that, I would have done it in weeks, not months. Well, my life looks like this. It's really, really simple. I wake up when I want to wake up. I do what I want to do. I go on vacations as I want to go on vacations, but I do live a structured life. I still try to work as a normal 9-to-5 job because it does take dedication to build your business. If I just worked it, I know I could live a very stable, flat line, but I'm looking to grow every day. So I'm always looking for bigger things. It really comes down to this. Anybody can do this, but what the biggest thing is, there's two things in my opinion that it takes. One, you got to believe in yourself. You got to be able to believe that you can take that leap, and then two is to take action. Okay? Nothing's gonna happen if you don't take the leap of faith. You gotta take the leap of faith. You gotta be willing to invest in yourself. You gotta be willing to put the time in, and you gotta work hard at it. So these are things that are, obviously hard to do when it comes to it, because a lot of people have a mental block when it comes to these things. They're not thinking, oh, I can do this. They're always thinking what the negative side of things. Take the negative out of your mind. Put the positive in your mind. Know that you can do it. Know that you have the correct teacher. You have the correct attitude and the correct training to do it, and that's all you need. And you can get it done. Anybody can do it.
All right, everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the show. Guess who I've got with me? Mr. Jimmy Kim. How are you,
Hey,
sir?
what's up, buddy?
All
How you
what's going
doing?
on? Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it, and I'm sure everyone else does too. I've kind of told everyone about the history that we have here. I told you, right? He was one of my friends, one of my very close friends, and I've always found it harder to actually teach friends and family. So I always say that he was able to become successful despite being family and friend. So Jimmy, tell us a little bit about your background, where you come from before this, because I remember how freaking hard you used to work.
Well, we always talk about this background because it's always kind of funny to talk about. So back, I guess now 6, 7, 8, I don't even know how long ago it was, but when I was younger, when I was a young little lad, right? I used to be in the car business. I started off washing cars, and I kind of moved my way up through the ranks in the car business, and I was very good at what I did. But the problem was, I used to work 60 to 80 hours a week, and that's actually when I met Anik. I was working my butt off. I mean, I went through the kind of like the cycles. I learned from the bottom and went all the way to the top, and it was actually, it was really fun. I'm a motivated guy. I love doing what I do, and I try to do the best I can when I do anything I do. It's because I take action. That's really what it really comes down to. But it was, I think 2008 that I met Anik, and I was just like, went back there and I was like, we met in Vegas actually. We both had this thing. It was actually really funny. I talked about this on that live webinar casting, the thing that we did the other night. And basically, we go on these guys trip every year, and Anik kind of ended up being there, and I never met Anik, and we kind of like really just connected. So we became really good friends, but we weren't working together or anything. And the really fun thing is, when I first asked Anik, hey, Anik, what do you do for a living? I mean, I see your cars, I see you travel, I see you live the life, but what do you do? And he goes, I do internet marketing. And I'm like, what's that? Like, do you just spam us? Do you email us? Like, I'm not really sure, like nobody really thinks. And I'm sure you had the same thought. I mean, your audience out here is probably going to think the same thing about that. Like when you tell someone you do internet marketing, it's a very vague statement, right? Mm-hmm. But what you've done with Profit Academy, of course, it really kind of brings it together, right? Anyways, let me go back. So we talked and stuff like that, and I think it was April 2009. Him and I said, you know what? I'm going to give up this job. I'm making 6 figures in that job, but I'm going to give it up, step back, and do something that's going to make me proud. I want to work less, which ironically I actually ended up working more, I think. But initially, at least, I was working more. But, I stuck back and I said, you know what? I'm just going to give it up, take action, and do it. So it was 2009, and fast forward through those years, I've kind of like started picking up. I mean, it didn't come instantly, but I mean, once I kind of learned the process and the basics and I just started doing it, I started making money. It was really cool. And when I saw my first, I still remember, I wish I still had that check, like everybody has that check picture. Unfortunately, I don't have one. I feel like I should go get another check real quick, like a really small one, and hold it up and pretend it was me, maybe. But anyway, so fast forward, like, went from 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13. I mean, I had huge growth every year. Every year I grew at least a minimum 100% to 200% of growth every year in my business. I mean, in 2014, this year, I mean, I just went through my tax thing with my CPA and all that stuff. And, I crossed over the $4 million mark last year. $4 million in net profits I'm talking about, right? I mean, if we look at my actual net gross sales, I think I did like $10 or $12 million last year, which was absolutely incredible, like.
Wait, so I thought you were going to do over $10 million in sales this year.
No, I'm actually on pace to do something like 16 to 18 million this year.
Wow,
So
that's pretty crazy.
I mean, you know, it's
incredible.
March now, right? It's March now, and
Yeah.
we just flipped into March, and I haven't done it, but I'm setting myself in the pace. I mean, my pace is right there right now, but
Wow.
I have more projects to do. You know, obviously I have other things I'm working on. I should do that minimum, and I would be upset if I didn't do it at the minimum right now because I just, you know, once you start getting that snowball roll, it's over. It just goes, you know. So there's my little story condensed without taking up too much of your time. But basically, I kind of like, you know, I took exactly what Anik is teaching in this Profit Academy. Basically, when Anik came to me and said, hey, I'm making this course, Profit Academy, I was just like, oh, cool, you know, I didn't really think anything of it. And he showed me the course outline, and I just kind of read through it, like kind of skimmed through it really fast. And I was just like, wow, it's kind of like everything I do in my business every day. All in this nice, easy, handed to you paperwork. It's something that I learned. I mean, I learned the basics from Anik, and then Anik kind of taught me along the way. But it was like Anik's knowledge dump right in the palm of your hands. I kind of read through it, and I said, you know, Anik, if I had this back 5-6 years ago, I would have been making a lot more money sooner. I wouldn't have failed so much. You know, that's the truth. I wouldn't have failed as much. I would have succeeded faster and grown faster.